Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended, the podcast. I'm Kim, along with my handsome husband, Tyler, and it is Friday. Finally, it has been a long ass week. I don't know about y'all, but it's been a long one for me. So, there's been a lot going on in the news this week. A lot. And we're going to touch on just a small little fraction of that. Tyler, what are we going to be talking about
Yeah.
today?
Okay. So, well, I shouldn't say that the Givesendgo, the hacker, has been outed. He's. We're gonna look into that. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. Don't do that. We're gonna look at some teachers being wonderful to their to their students. And in the House of Commons today, so they were debating the Emergency Measures Act, and we're just going to show how useless Jagmeet Singh is. And the reason why I'm going to focus on him is Justin Trudeau is beyond repugnant. He is insufferable. I think maybe Jagmeet Singh could possibly be reasoned with. So we're going to talk about some of the statements that he had made. And you know what? I would say if he was honest, I would believe him. I would say, yes, I agree with you. I think your absolute disdain for anyone making money ever is a little, a little bit of a problem. But we're also going to, and then the main thing, our big one, Candice Bergen has let it fly. She has, the way that I see it, she's had enough, and she's being very vocal about it. And you know what? I approve of someone calling someone else to the mat, saying, what you're saying is a lie. What you're doing is wrong. So I'm going to we'll look into that, and Elon Musk has trolled the internet again. Everyone's getting pissed off, and apparently people don't understand the. All right, whatever. We'll get into it,
The
and a lot
beauty
of
that
other things.
is Big Daddy Elon.
Yeah.
So,
So hold on. I'm gonna. Oh, carry on.
no, I was just going to say
I gotta.
before we really get into anything, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share us with everybody, good, bad, the ugly, whatever. Check us out: Rumble, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Getter, and Twitter. We're everywhere. So come check us out. Come hang out with us. Also, our Discord is in the description box below. So if you ever want to come play games with us, or just, tell us how much you love us, or tell us how much you don't love us, you can come hang out.
Okay, so let's get into this first one because we have a lot of stuff to get through. And okay, all right, all right. So let's start with and then of course the fountain of what's the best way to say it? The fountain of shit that just keeps on spewing shit. Libs of TikTok. You know it, you love it. All right, let's get into this. So this is for anyone that doesn't understand this story here. So Givesendgo was hacked. People are saying that the donor list was published. It's all public information. So, like, if you donate to a cause, you can either say either as anonymous, or you could say, you could put your name in there. I put my name in there, so I don't really care. Like, if someone says, "Why did you donate to the Freedom Convoy?" Because I support the message of civil disobedience, of petitioning your government, of protesting. Do I agree with the blockades? Nope. I didn't agree with it when the Aboriginal people were blocking train tracks. and trying to derail trains. Not okay with that. So either side. It's just I'm trying to focus on. I'm trying to be logical and get. I just want to. All I want to know is the truth, and so unfortunately, I have to do a lot of research. So this guy, he's a known hacker in the hacking community. He's whatever. All right, let's just 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 play the video. Just play the fucking video. And headphone warning. This guy, it, her, him. I don't know. I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know. I don't know if they're trans or whatever. All right, let's.
Which video is it? Is it the hacker statement one or
The hacker Givesendgo from Twitter
that one?
lives of TikTok.
Okay,
Yes.
hold on. I missed that one. Sorry, guys.
So of course, lives of TikTok. If you want to see the cesspool that is the world, go to lives of TikTok. You but the thing is, you have to see this stuff in its entirety. You have to see this stuff to understand, like, we need mental health services bad.
True story.
Ooh, all right.
It's ready.
Okay. All right. Ready when you are. Watch your volume.
Nothing scares me. Nothing. Yes, I doxed the truckers. I did it. It was me. I hacked Givesendgo, baby. And I do it again.
Like, look at the shoulder roll and...
I did it. I did it. Come at me. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me, huh?
What the fuck?
I hacked Epic Hosting. I hacked Parlor. I hacked Gab. I hacked Truth Social. I hacked Go Givesendgo. I don't care.
Somebody didn't give this guy enough hugs.
He's just like,
put my name into
I know,
the
I don't know
tab on Google, and you can find everything I've done.
Everything.
I am literally in every mainstream media publication for the things that I do. I'm not an unknown actor.
All right. Okay.
He's not a known actor.
I'm literally a famous fucking cyber.
That's I can't do anymore. I wanna fucking start a shotgun. This is just unfucking real. So all right. So who was that? Who was that person that was either like and I'm genuinely trying to come from like a place of understanding. Like, this is a human being. This is someone that has been, whether they've been radicalized, whether they feel that. Okay, when I first seen this, I wonder if my comment is still on there. I said something to the effect of, this person needs medication.
Not the fun kind.
When I seen this, I thought of Charles Manson. I thought of, oh my God, who's the guy that shot JFK? Obviously, I don't really give it. Like, that's what I thought of.
I can't. Charles Manson wasn't this crazy though.
What is that? Like being radicalized. So, and this guy is a known federal asset. He has worked with governments before. So there's this report from the Hyphen report. And just a little excerpt.
Hold on. He's worked with the government before?
Oh, yes. This is the point of a federal agent. So whether it's CSIS or the FBI or Interpol, he's worked with these places to try and hack into places. And I will say, to do some noble things, but I assume that he feels like he is saving his country. And he's Canadian, so.
Oh God, why? Well, and the thing is, okay, do you see this? Well, you can't see what I'm paused on, but this one comment here, there's some dildo that's like, "Thank you for everything you've done." What did he do? He hacked a Givesendgo go. Yay. You're cool, dude. That hair, though. Too cool for
Well, and
me.
so I guess he's homosexual. Like I looked into more videos of him, and he's been saying, like, oh, if I wanted a communist, I wish there was a gay, blah blah blah. I'm like, well, that's not what they do in communist countries. But I appreciate your optimism in what communism will bring you. But so from the hyphen report, so this dude, what is his name?
Tanner.
No, that's not his real name. That's like his name. The hell is his name now?
Dildo.
How is it? I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's like Coot something. Whatever. All right. So he is a proven federal asset, denounced even by his fellow comrades for it. He's posted his own CSIS investigational records on Twitter, bragging about being an obedient yuppie. That's not to mention he ran an image board named Pedo as a honeypot for federal authorities. He denies hosting any child porn content, but then immediately contradicts himself, saying he warned new staff about child porn. This scumbag regularly swats even his own comrades attempting to murder them. His saving grace being his usefulness to governments as to escape any repercussions. So when
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go first.
No, because I'm going on to another spot. So
okay. So my theory, this is again for anybody who's new here, even anybody who is a regular listener that is not aware of this. I try not to look at the stuff that Tyler actually decides to bring up because I like to be equally as shocked. And have a conversation with him about it as opposed to it being scripted. Now, my whole thought process was, okay, Givesendgo was hacked on Sunday. Then Trudeau decided to enact the emergency measures literally the next day. Okay. Doesn't that seem a little suspicious when the emergency, them hacking Givesendgo was able to put out the names of the people who had donated. Then the next day, they decide to enact the Emergency Measures Act, which allows them to be able to contact banks to get them to freeze bank accounts for any of these people who are taking place in the convoy. I find it a little suspicious that literally the day before he enacts this stuff, all of a sudden, all this information is leaked out. And now they can, it's so easy for them to just blah. You know what I mean? And if this guy has worked, now that I see, he's a federal asset. I don't know how. They must give him really good drugs.
Blowjobs?
Drugs. Or they'd have to be on drugs to be able to like sit and put up with that dildo. But anyway.
To be fair, he'd probably like it, so.
It's highly possible.
Maybe that's why he's doing that. He's like undulating on it. That's what he's
right.
I'm not judging. Like it's weird to do it on a live stream. Like, aren't you on OnlyFans or something? Like,
but what was his like whole thing there? Was it like a look at me, ooh yeah, or was I'm so bad? Oh, you threatened? You scared? Oh yeah, like what the hell? Maybe I should just start doing that.
Nothing screams stability, like mental stability, in screaming your allegiance while moving like you're I don't like
have to poop. I don't know.
I don't know, man, but
maybe he had some of that good old vaginal itch.
Oh, could be. Yeah, it's like he's trying to scratch his asshole and not make it look like obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But so with Givesendgo when it was hacked, so he apparently he had posted, it was him. It was a loop of Frozen and the statement. So of course, or anything that we source, everything will always be in the description. Please read it for yourself. Don't just take our word for it. Search it and find it.
It
Find the
actually
information.
pulled up the video while you're reading it here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna read it. I have no interest in it. I really don't give a shit. But so, it's a, this is a beautiful way to start a Friday. You'll need a drink. So, but but that's what I see. So what people ended up finding out about this guy is that he, oddly enough, what he's done is potentially criminal. All right, I can't keep looking at this undulating creep. That he has a GoFundMe to go get visitation rights for his son, and that, to me, that is actually sad, because he sounds like someone that is either whether he's having a psychotic episode, something, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm looking like whatever's going on with you ain't normal. Like it's not like.
Okay,
I don't know.
judge would see that, like, say that there's some sort of custody battle or something, and if you were acting like that, and I would like show the judge, be like, here, they would just like look at you and just hand me the kids and walk away.
Well, and that's what I think. So I honestly, I don't know, but that is just my feeling, that there was maybe some kind of psychotic episode, maybe some type of rage, or maybe that he was a closeted gay guy. Like he's like, I can't hold it back anymore. I just need dick and I need to hack. So that's what he decided to do.
Maybe. And now he's just stuck in a perpetual yelling state. He just
What?
has to get it out.
Oh my God, there's so much dick. How much you want to bet him and Brian Stelter, who's totally straight, by the way, are just, maybe they meet at well, I guess gay bars are dying. It's all, oh, this poor world. All right. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but it's just, oh, it's beautiful to see the unhinged rants of a delusional sociopath.
Yeah. Yes.
And if you have psychopathy, please go talk to a doctor, talk to someone. Like, that's honestly what I think. It's like, hey man, shit ain't that bad. It's not that bad. But if you're psychotic, I would just think, I don't know. I honestly, I think he's being exploited by the government, and I think that is detestable. Like, seriously, I think that's detestable. That's someone that is not of sound mind. You are exploiting them. Like, there's stories of, cops, setting up people that are autistic, or people that have that are mentally disabled, and they set them up and say, hey, do you, it was like a young chick cop goes into a high school, becomes friends with a guy that's mentally handicapped, and then she goes, oh, well, do you want to sell drugs? Sell me some weed. You could sell some weed. And when he finally does, then they bust him. It's like, but that's entrapment. Like, I feel like they're just exploiting this guy because he's a useful pawn. And when the shit hits the fan, the government's going to say, we don't know who this fucking guy is.
Well,
I have no idea.
And I mean, he's clearly mentally unhinged. So
what do you mean? That's level. Like, you put a level. Oh, just the exemplar of stability. Build a house on that fucker. So stable. All right, so let's speaking of oh God, I can't even segue. I can't, no. All right, so let's go to this article from the Sun. So a teacher, get ready, please get ready for this. A teacher is sentenced after lacing cupcakes with her husband's sperm and feeding them to her students. I wish I could see your face right now.
why?
Hold on, hold on, it gets better. That's the fucked up. It gets better. It doesn't.
How could that
It's
get
not like
better?
it gets better. So Cynthia Perkins, 36, faces 41 years in prison after taking a plea deal on Monday in exchange for testifying against her now ex-husband, Dennis. He was working at a Livingston Parish Sheriff's deputy. This guy was a fucking cop at the time of his arrest. The Louisiana woman initially protested her innocence to 72 charges of various sex crimes.
72?
What were some of those 72 various sex crimes? Yet this week pleaded guilty to producing kitty stuff, second-degree inappropriate touching, and mingling of harmful substances. The charge about harmful substances allegedly refers to an incident in which she used Dennis's baby batter to season pastries for West Side Junior High School kids. But we were able to find a leaked video of the incident. Don't worry, we've blocked out anything that could potentially be revealing. So, yes, yeah. So just be aware. It's a all right. So play the video.
So hot. Oh my god, but ew. But seriously, what the fuck? But okay, what? Hold on, I can't. My head is so mumbled right now because this is so disgusting. But like, okay, so her husband was also arrested. Like he was aware of all of this.
Yeah.
Like he was clearly a joining member. It wasn't just something she was just doing just to be gross. Like they were actually doing this together.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's
take your kids out of schools.
Oh my god, she's 36. What does she look like?
Okay, so she's not bad looking, but but she's not like lunch lady Doris.
Well, no, neither one of them are bad looking, but that's just fucking sick. What the fuck?
So, of course. Leave a comment. I would love to hear your opinions on a couple of these. Oh, and of course, Monday, Wednesday, Friday will always be live, or I shouldn't say live. Like we'll always have a video, barring our internet dying. But
so, like, do you think this was no? Hold on, I can't pass this yet. So, do you think this was? This is like, you know how some people they do like role playing. Do you think this is like a thing that they do to like get off? Like, do you think
100%.
she was sitting there watching the children eating the cupcakes and was just like, I need to go to the bathroom? Like, do you
probably? She probably had like a butt plug in. She probably had like one of those Wii Vibe things going off.
I really hope homeboy didn't have anything like crawling around. You know, poor kids.
I don't know.
I would be.
What I
mortified.
find weird is how would they know? How do the kids know? Like, how does this come to light? Like, is it just like, oh, that's a little extra salty or whatever? I don't know. It's like
actually.
Oh God.
No. What I was gonna say is that's a really good question because I would like to know how these people got caught to begin with, unless they videotaped it and put it out somewhere and someone was like, "That's just fucking nasty," and reported them. But regardless, I would definitely like to know how these two sick little fucks got caught. Yeah.
I don't know. I seen the article. I read the article as much as I wanted to read, and then ta-da.
So if this is what gets them off on a day-to-day basis, what do you think? How do you think jail's going to be for them? Like, do you think they're just going to be like, fuck, this is just so lame?
Ooh, especially an ex-cop. An ex-cop.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Doing kitty stuff. He's solitary
Dead man
confinement.
walking.
He cannot. yeah, he cannot be in general pop. He cannot.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Just- yeah, like there are some cops that like do okay in prison because like your street cred is everything. But man, you're a cop and you decided to do this.
But how come
Like
it's only talking about her? Like, she faces
oh
41 years in prison. She has 72 charges. What about
well,
him?
there's more in the article. It's just I don't want to get into it. So that's painted the picture. Okay, now let's speaking of things that should have been swallowed. Jagmeet Singh. Okay, so in the House of Commons today, he had a bit of a speech, and so I picked there are a couple of things. If I didn't think he was so duplicitous, I would have taken him seriously. So we have a couple clips, so we'll just play them in succession, and then I wanted to respond to them. So there's 4 quick clips. So let's get this going.
It should never come to the point where residents, families, children were harassed, intimidated, terrorized by the convoy.
Yeah, so
It
parents
should
shouldn't have been
never come to
harassed
this.
or terrorized. Okay, all right, next one.
They came here to overthrow a democratically elected government. It is a movement funded by foreign influence, and it is fed on disinformation.
Okay, all right, so you see the rhetoric is getting a little more divisive.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. I don't know what happened here. Okay.
Occupiers get hugs from the police, while indigenous and racialized
Crazy.
protesters
Oh,
are
they
met with the
police
barrel of a
hugged
gun.
them, while other groups were met with the barrel of a gun. Okay, all right. So we already
Did they
have.
ask for hugs though? Sorry. Like,
Well,
were they just like, "Hey, can I have a hug?" and then were shot? Like have you not seen the people who are in this convoy and stuff like that? There's so many people that are going up to the cops and saying, "Hi, how are you?" and "Hi, can I have a hug?" But did any of these other people ask for a hug, or were they just like, "Yo, fuck you, pig," or some shit like that? I don't know.
So let's play this. Play the last clip here.
Okay.
You are right to be angry that the cost of groceries go up to feed the profits of wealthy corporate grocery stores.
Wealthy corporate grocery stores.
Yeah, the only ones that you let stay open, you mean?
So okay, so let's get into this a little bit. Okay, so his first one talking about harassment and all this type of stuff. You would assume. This is the thing. I've tried to find it. There's a reason why I don't have any information on it, because I couldn't find anything. I could not. You would assume if someone spit in the wrong direction, if someone was harassing a business, if something was happening, you would assume that there would be a video somewhere and it would be plastered everywhere.
In this day and age, 100%. I mean, people, you literally see somebody taking a shit on the street corner.
Yeah. Okay, so like that right there. Where? Like, if you're gonna make these statements, are people saying I'm being harassed because of the honking? Okay, yeah, I'm sure it's annoying. That's the thing. I'm sure that is. When I sleep in my truck, if some dickhead is sitting there blaring his horn, oh, you bet I'm getting up. I will be naked. I will whip my dick out and say, "Hey, you fucking knocked it off. Some of us are trying to sleep here."
That's like, you like need a broom. It always just reminds me when you hear people making noise. Just want to be that like old person in their apartment with a broom, just like banging on the roof. You quiet down there,
Like,
Sonny.
Like, I'm just saying, if you're gonna, if you're going to make these statements, you have to have information to overthrow a government. That statement, so like I said, duplicitous. When he has supported governments, when he says that foreign intervention, you mean that less than half of the people that donated were from outside of Canada? Less than half. But he said mostly funded by foreign interests. So again, that is not true. That is not true. And this is a written speech. He has like 4 or 5 pages of a speech. So this is why, like, when I keep harking back to Brian Palliser saying privileges. This is a written speech. He knew what he was saying. He absolutely knew. And that is absolutely disingenuous. For the same person that said Canada should get involved in India, where he supported separatist movements that have been declared terrorist organizations, when he has spoke at them. How about overthrow of a government? Being a governor for the World Economic Forum. Krista Freeland, Jagmeet Singh, Justin Trudeau are all members of the World Economic Forum, the group to try and bring globalism worldwide. That now becomes a huge conflict of interest to me. Do you have the interests of Canada or to the World Economic Forum? That becomes a big thing. And to say overthrowing the government, I don't think I've heard anyone say that. I'll say this. I could see Pat King saying this is going to end with an overthrow or some stupid shit. But is that really the sentiment? Is that the despise that you have towards other Canadians? Because you said those very similar things of this isn't a time of being divisive and scoring political points. This government failed to act, failed to listen to Canadians. But yet you immediately go to people were terrorized. That's a very interesting word to use. Overthrow a government, another interesting type of word to use, when that was never the thing. If it happened, please, I've tried to find this information. I don't see it. Whether using Google, DuckDuckGo, please, I would love to know. And police giving hugs. So if they were attempting to overthrow the government, if this was, and he said over and over again, an occupation. So that is where people try to subvert government authority, where they say your laws and your institutions do not belong, we do not support them. In fact, this is what did they call it in Seattle? An autonomous zone. Yes, where they literally forced out police, forced out emergency workers, forced out paramedics, firefighters, the whole gambit, where crime skyrocketed. You have video after video. Viva Frei was down there. Autowalks was down there. Where Pierre Poilievre was down there. Maxime Bernier was down there. I believe Candice Bergen was down there. There are a bunch of people reporting that these are people with large followings, are down there. And so where's the government overthrow? Where Pierre Poilievre is saying that, well, everyone's friendly, everyone's nice, everyone's hugging each other. So where's the overthrow? Where's the occupation where they are where they're giving flowers to police officers, where the police are saying, I respect your right to protest? All this stuff. And to say that those police officers, that they need to have a review, that they're sympathetic, while other groups get met with the barrel of a gun? No, I'll say this. One day of a blockade, okay, you made your point. One day you made your point. When you go for a week, yeah, people are going to be pissed off at you.
Yeah.
Okay, and then his last one. It's like Jagmeet, Are you reading from Elizabeth Warren's playbook to try and blame big grocery? Like, what are you trying to, like, what, combat big Loblaws?
Well, it doesn't
So
even
again, no, what?
it doesn't even make any sense because they are the ones that told the small businesses that they had to shut down, that they were
That's exactly
non-essential,
it.
and they had to the bigger businesses were what was allowed to stay open. So if you're gonna make a comment like that, then maybe you should think of the fact that you guys are the ones who told them that they could stay open and everybody else had to shut down. So what do you expect?
Well, and that's the thing with it in terms of the emergency measures. And I love everyone suddenly has a civics degree. Well, this was local jurisdictions. I don't know why people are protesting the federal government. This is a provincial jurisdiction. Take a civics course. Not when the government is saying, we will cut off your funding if you do not do this. Like, yeah, I'm going to go to the person with the purse strings. Yeah, I will petition my government. I phoned Ralph Eichler. I said, hey, what is going on here is wrong. I phoned James Bazan saying what the government is deciding to do is wrong, flat out. When the numbers are showing, okay, so whatever, it doesn't matter. We can get into it. Okay, so big Loblaws, the racketeering that is Walmart, that you literally helped these record profits. All right, so a quick Google search. What is the profit margins of grocery stores? From EPOS now, on average, grocery stores make about 2.2% profit on each product they sell. That is highway robbery, 2.2%. So that is for them. If it costs them, say, $1 to sell you an apple or to bring that apple in, they charge $1.02. That is what they charge. They make 2 cents per dollar. That is, if that's not a monopoly and racketeering and extortion, holy 2.2. All right, from the Canadian government itself. The profit margin is one way to measure profitability. In 2018, industry was 1.8%. That was the profit margin, 1.8%.
That's
All right, so
huge.
let's look at that is incredible to see. So I was also looking at, like, in terms of, like, government's response to this. So people are scared of COVID. People are worried. People are, fearful. They're looking for direction. So I just looked up how many cases of COVID are there in Canada since it began to February 4th. From February 4th, this is the latest data that I'm able to find. So let's look at certain things. So people that have COVID, so people that had COVID cases, let's look at one number. You can, of course, as always, all the statistics, everything that we source is always going to be in the description. So for 80-year-olds, 4.3% of the population, less than 5%, 4.3% of the population has contracted COVID. Do that. Okay, so let's go to this next one. People that are 80 and above, they make up, what was the number? 57% of the deaths in Canada.
Jeez.
So a majority of people that have died are 80 and older. Okay, so, people are scared and people are worried. So this is just to put it in perspective. Look, you can see from 0 to 11, 19 people have died. 12 to 19, 10, 20 to 29, 99. And you can see it exponentially, it gets higher and higher the older and older you are, which is what we have known for, what, a year and a half? We have known this. But when it's constantly thrown in your face, be afraid, you're going to die. So This is one thing I looked at. So if we look at the next one, so this is worldmeters.info. I don't know if they have a political agenda. I don't know if statistics or just basic information does. Like, this is on. I just looked at COVID cases. You see that sharp spike when apparently Omicron came in, and then look at.
Going down.
I bet Mr. Givesendgo, he could ride that fucking number. He could ride this graph and probably get off on it.
Probably.
It's just gone up and down.
It's got some nice jaggeds in it. Looks like a good time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Rib for his pleasure.
Mine too.
But so you're seeing this. Okay, so it comes in waves. It up and it waves as most things do, and then you see a massive spike, and what does it do? It almost falls as fast as it rises. So I'm just looking at this. Okay, here's some more. Here's some more information. All right, like how much more information do people need to see? At the initial start, massive spike, and it's done nothing but taper off. Okay, in terms of death, 1% of our population has died from COVID. Out of the almost 3.1 million, almost 36,000 unfortunately have died. But this is to put into perspective. We have gone from 2 weeks to flatten the curve to your bank accounts will be seized, you will be depersoned, you will have your health care revoked. This is the absolute extreme for when the majority of the almost 36,000, that the 20,000 that have unfortunately died. We have enacted, we have let policy, we have let fear dictate that much. So I don't think Jagmeet Singh, I don't think they're looking for direction. I think people are looking for honesty. People are looking for hope. People are looking to get their lives back. I should have looked up these numbers, and you know what? Maybe I'll save it for another time. I wish we would look. I should have looked at numbers for substance abuse. Abuse across the board. See how sharp that spike has risen.
Oh, it'll be huge. That actually would be an interesting one to take a look at. I know it's going to be massive, especially unfortunately the teen suicides. Yeah,
and so he had also said, that Canadians, the brave Canadians that were there for each other, to bring the unity. So I'm looking, which unity? Which unity did the government propose? Oh, from Vancouver Police Department. Oh, look, house party of 6 people or more. Phone the police on them. From Alberta. Well, the Alberta Health Services. Submit your request. You can snitch on your neighbors. So no, you didn't encourage unity. You encouraged rats. You encouraged people that had nothing to lose, people that felt entitled, people that felt vindicated to rat on their neighbors.
I think this
is what?
I think this is something that has really the one part of the question series or the debates that you're seeing with like Trudeau and stuff like that is he's constantly saying, Canadians have been there for one another. They have, been there for their neighbors and unified and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, are you kidding me? No. This whole time through COVID, it's literally been families being torn apart, neighbors not speaking to each other anymore. You're ratting on one another, friendships being kiboshed because of this whole thing. It's literally been turning people on one another nonstop. And every single time he mentions that Canadians have been there for one another, they've been helping each other and it makes me so angry because it's far from the truth. It's the polar opposite.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I just search it. I just look for the information. I don't have a motivated reason. Honestly, I don't. I'm just But you could search this for yourself. COVID cases in Canada. Like I said, everything we talk about will be in the description. Look at it yourself. Please, I encourage you. Don't take my word for it. I'm a stupid fucking truck driver. I know nothing. I just see numbers and I go, huh, that one's bigger than that one. This one's lower than that one.
Weird.
That's it. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm looking at. So, okay, so we can get back to the groceries. So profit margins for groceries. Total operating revenue, $98 billion. Okay? That is how much the grocery sector made in, I believe in 2018. Total operating revenue, $98 billion. Total expenses, $96 billion.
Wow.
That is so disingenuous to say that, oh, the grocery stores, you notice things go up because you're lining some corporate guy's pocket because they had to pay out, shareholders and all this other stuff. And I understand why they have to. I'm not okay with it. But if those shareholders, they can actually, those people can actually be potentially thrown out. Those board members can be tossed out by shareholders if they're not getting paid what they invested into a company. I know it's not fair, but unfortunately, that's the system that we live in sometimes. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Okay, so let's look at some other industries. Auto repair, 12% margin. Construction, 5%. Hotels and hospitality, 8%. Maintenance services, 10%. The restaurant industry, 15%. Retail averages about 5%. Tax services, 20%. Transportation, 19%. That is the profit margins that they're working with. The lowest, retail and construction.
Yeah, that's
Two
pretty sad.
absolute necessities.
Yep.
So but this is the thing. If you're gonna point the blame, point it at the people. I don't blame Walmart. I don't. I will bitch about it because I will say government enabled it. Government allowed this to happen while they shut down other places. So yeah, I will never, I shouldn't say never. It would take a lot for me to turn on my neighbor. It would take an absolute mountain for me to turn on my neighbor.
Even the ones I don't like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not an asshole. So even though I can't stand you, and if you watch this, you know who you are. Even if I don't like you, I'm not a rat. I'm not going to sit there and rat on you because some big guy told me that I have to. No, I'm not that type of person. Sorry.
None of my business. You're an adult. Do what you want. As long as you aren't hurting anyone, I really don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold government to account. That said, mom and pop shop, you shut down. Government literally got to pick winners and losers. That is, please, anyone that's lived in a communist country, please let me know if that's any different. I would love to know. Because that's exactly what happens. They literally pick winners and losers. Not the person with the best business model, not the person with the best product. Government said, oh, you're small, shut down. Oh, Walmart, you stay open. Of course they're going to support it. They have the government backing their competition. Of course they're going to love it. That is smart business. Being so good, you lose all competition. That is what every corporation wants. So it was just, it's disingenuous. It's absolutely disingenuous. And to say that Canada has become unified, no, we've become very much divided. Where freedom is a right-wing extremist talking point. Freedom. freedom, our Charter of Rights is a right-wing talking point. We have seriously lost the plot here. Seriously lost it. But this is ultimately what a right wing, or I should say a right wing, an authoritarian ideology holds. I'm not a fan of other people being seen as better or worse than. I'm not okay with it. I'm just fundamentally I'm not. You're either good at something or you're not. Okay, all right. So let's go into this next one. So this is from. Well, I guess Rebel News has the clip, but this was originally on. Oh, I can't remember what this freaking show's called. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. So this is our the hell is this idiot's title? Whatever, Cuckosaurus Rex, whatever. That's his title.
All right, that works for me.
Yeah. All right. So apparently now Trumpism is a bad thing. I don't know what Trumpism is.
I'm going
Makes
to
no sense.
assume anybody who supports Trump or believes what he believes. I don't fucking know.
See,
It's another
he's a
ism.
populist. He is what Trudeau said he was.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, there are things you can absolutely disagree with on Trump about. Absolutely, I will not. Thing is, I'm a realist. I look at the information. I just fucking showed you right here. I just showed you. All right, so let's listen to this fucking broken condom.
Okay, Blake now.
Look, you just compared people who may have donated to this to the same people who are funding maybe a
Oh,
terrorist.
right.
I just want to be clear here, sir. This is really important. A lot of folks says, look, I just don't like your vaccine mandates and I donated to this. Now it's illegal. Should I be worried that the bank can freeze my account? What's your answer to that?
Well, I think if you are a member of a pro-Trump movement who's donating hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars to this kind of thing, then you ought to be worried.
Look, you just compared people who may have donated to this
you
to
donated,
the same people who are
shut
funding
up.
maybe a terrorist. I just want to be clear here,
If
sir.
you
this is really
donated
important. A lot of
and you're part of a pro-Trump movement, you should be worried and donated hundreds of thousands. I seen 33, unless the numbers have changed. If they have, I would love to see them, because the last number I seen was 33,700. I think was the number.
Yeah.
But I've seen numbers, that it's gone up to, I think a fair number would be, I think about 40% came from foreign countries. Well, Canada had no problem intervening in India, supporting the people's right to protest, where they sat in, where they encouraged the Arab Spring, where we supported the overthrow of a government. Right. It's okay if it's in someone else's backyard. Just don't do it in my yard. Like,
100%.
go shit over there. Go destroy that shitty country. Don't destroy this country.
Well, but see, everything has to have some sort of hidden agenda to it, right? So if other people from other countries are donating to the convoy that's going on here, it couldn't possibly be because they're like, you know what? These people are onto something. And you know what? They're going out there and they're trying to fight for people's freedoms and they want to end these mandates. And I completely agree. And you know what? I support that. I want to help give to it so they got enough fuel while they sit there and food and whatnot. No, it has to be some sort of hidden agenda that they're just waiting to infiltrate. That they're
waiting to
take over the world.
Yeah, to overthrow the government. Like, this is literally a grassroots movement. This is from the working class. From isn't it incredible? From British Columbia, the leftist epicenter, the place that has, gives out so much people, there's so much stuff to its, impoverished population. And they're saying, we've had enough. And I remember seeing a lot of tweets are like, you fucked up when Alberta and Quebec see eye to eye on things.
right?
I almost said two countries, two provinces that are so diametrically opposed to each other, where Alberta wants to tell Quebec, hey, we're not giving you equalization payments. And both provinces are saying this is wrong. But this is the thing. This is what Trudeau should be about. This is what the Liberal Party, this is what the NDP party should be about. The Conservatives are supposed to be about businesses, about big banks, about corporations. They're also Liberal Party and NDP were supposed to be for the working class. I wish for the days of Jack Layton. Ever since he died, the NDP has become the best they are is a lapdog to Justin Trudeau. And even though he spouted about, the Emergency Measures Act was unwarranted, we're going to support it. And we're going to vote yes on it. For the working class, the people that are actually the work, what you should support. But no, you hate anyone that makes money anywhere. Remember, Jagmeet Singh was the same person that said old age care homes should not make a profit. He said that flat out. He is so opposed to anyone making money. He thinks schooling should be free. It's unbelievable. And I'll tell anyone. I am a high school dropout. I dropped out in grade 12 because I had to take care of other things. But I have a degree in business management. So, working class. Now, obviously, post-secondary education. And he absolutely despises someone that is trying to make something, which he should fully support. And it's incredible that the Conservatives, who I should ideologically 100% oppose, have had to align with. It's just, it's incredible.
Which is, it's weird because like watching a lot of these, I guess, news videos, they're fucking debate things, whatever the fuck you want to call them. 100%, I'm more in line with the Conservatives, which is weird because when you take that political compass test, that is not where I align at all.
Oh, I'm left-wing libertarian.
Me too.
in fact, I've gotten more libertarian. I'm slightly left of center and bottom left quadrant. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm closer to the center.
yeah, I'm more left-wing than you, which I find incredible. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. All right, so let's carry on with Candice Bergen. Ooh boy, she got pissed at Trudeau.
I know.
Well, you take this one. This one's all yours. You take it.
I didn't know a lot about. Just recently have I started watching this kind of stuff, right? But I gotta say, this Candice Bergen girl, I like her. I really do. I'm actually kind of proud that she's Manitoban, not gonna lie.
Or just the prairie.
Now I censor myself. I know, comical. All right.
So what are we going at?
So
20,
no,
22.59?
Well, Candice Bergen's right at the beginning. So I guess we'll start at the very beginning, and then there's 3 parts to this that I want to show you.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, oops.
Switch your headphones, do you?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ready when you are.
Emergency. The borders at Coutts, Surrey, Windsor, and Emerson have all been cleared. There are no more blockades at any borders. Trucks are still here downtown in Ottawa, and they need to move. But in light of the rapidly changing landscape, can the Prime Minister tell us where is the serious threat of violence to Canadians for ideological purposes, which is the threshold that needs to be met for the Emergencies Act?
Very good question. Where's the threat?
Mr. Speaker,
left the
the
borders.
invocation of the Emergencies Act is not something to be done lightly. It is not something to be done as a first resort or even a second resort. But it was necessary to be done to give local law enforcement across the country the tools to handle these illegal blockades, to be able to ensure restoration of order, and to make sure that Canadians, whether they're losing shifts or seeing supplies delayed on the way through the borders, be able
Which
to get
you
back,
fully
to
supported,
their daily
shutting
lives.
businesses
This is a
down.
decision we took, and of course, Parliament is going to have an opportunity to debate it.
Which is funny because he
Leader
just
of
said
the
again about the
opposition.
blockades, and she just said they're gone.
Any limitations to Canadians' fundamental freedoms must be justified and must meet a legal criteria.
Hey, look, there's that
Experts across the
swastika
country have
person.
said these requirements have not
According
been
to
met.
Justin Trudeau.
The Prime
We'll get
Minister
to that.
hasn't given Canadians a clear reason why he's invoking the Emergencies Act. In fact, things
Look
are
at that fucker has 2 cups of
de-escalating
water.
as we speak. So why is the Prime Minister using this hammer on Canadians? Isn't it true he's doing it just to save his own political skin?
100% he is.
Honorable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, over the past few weeks, Canadians have been suffering, whether it's because of border crossings, whether it's because of illegal blockades in their neighborhoods. This is something
Blockades in
that
their
requires
neighborhoods.
extra tools that we have put in law enforcement's hands. Now, of course, law enforcement, the local law enforcement jurisdiction, can use these tools or not as they're available. But the threshold was met for the Emergencies Act, and now across the country, police of jurisdiction have the tools necessary to keep people safe.
We have the
I don't think
tools,
so
so
at all.
The Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
The Prime Minister calls people he disagrees with racist, misogynist.
Yes.
He spent the last month wedging, dividing, stigmatizing, and traumatizing Canadians. I understand the Prime Minister admires basic dictatorships, but let's remind the Prime Minister this is Canada. This is not a dictatorship.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister is actually pouring gasoline on embers. Isn't it true the Prime Minister is doing this for one reason and one reason alone? It's to save his own political career.
100%.
he is a fine dish.
Conservatives simply can't have it both
I'd tap
ways.
that.
They spent weeks complaining that we weren't doing enough to restore order in this country, and now
say she
we
is?
move forward to give people the
Yeah.
tools they
Yeah,
need.
tap.
I'm going to have to interrupt the Honorable Prime Minister. I've been getting emails from people who are watching us at home, and they're pretty ashamed of their
All right,
Parliament
so-
because of the
all
shouting
right,
that
is there
goes on.
anything more
One
to that
person
one, or-
brought something up.
He was going to keep jibber jabbering there a little bit, but nothing of that importance. It's just the same shit over and over again. I think he has the same cue cards he's been using for days now. So the next spot I want to get to is go to hold on.
Right Honorable Prime Minister.
I think it's 22 something.
259.
Yeah, hold on. Just waiting for him to finish speaking in Francais.
Yeah, so it's 2310.
What the fuck? See, it keeps switching on me. The one time I looked at it, it was one area. Okay. There you go.
Confident, optimistic,
Okay.
hopeful vision for public life isn't a naive dream. It can be a powerful force for change. If Canadians are to trust their government needs to trust Canadians. Those are the words of the Prime Minister in 2015.
How many
These
muffs do you
people,
think she's
very
at?
often misogynistic, racist, women haters, science deniers,
I'd
the
take it home.
fringe. Same Prime Minister
What?
6 years later as he fans the flames of an unjustified national emergency. So, Mr. Speaker, when did the Prime Minister lose his way? When did it happen?
Yeah, I'd like to know when he lost his way too.
Mr. Speaker, Conservative Party members can stand with people who wave swastikas. They can stand with people who wave the Confederate flag. We will choose to stand with Canadians who deserve to be able to get to their jobs, who be able to get their lives back. These illegal protests need to stop, and they will, Mr. Speaker.
Ooh, you got people angry there. The funny thing is there's something cut out in here, but I'll fill it in after.
I just want to remind the honourable members, including the honourable Prime Minister, to use words that are not inflammatory in the House, and that's for both sides.
Pause it.
No, it's still going.
The honourable member for Thornhill.
Unbecoming as a Prime Minister. It's been 48 hours that the government went from doing nothing to a national emergency.
Yeah,
48 hours into using the measures. 48 hours without providing Parliament with a justification. So my question is simple. When will the Prime Minister admit that he's lost control of the situation, that he's lost control of his country, that he's lost control of his caucus, and that he's lost control of his leadership?
You're still a thing.
Honourable Prime Minister.
Question of caucus and support for these blockades, the Conservative politicians need to make a choice. Are they for the blockades, or are they for communities, our economy, and regular Canadians? The member from Provencher pointed out about the emergency blockade, the illegal blockades. He has never seen such a patriotic display in Canada. There's nothing patriotic about hurting fellow Canadians. The member from Grand Prairie Mackenzie claims that the economy is not being held hostage.
You know, I wish you actually talked like that.
Hundreds of millions of dollars were being lost in trade due to blockades. And the member from Sarnia-Lambton doesn't believe her constituents need guaranteed access now to the Blue Water Bridge. Mr. Speaker, we stand with Canadians.
The honourable member for Regina.
Okay, now we can go to the next spot, which was, what did I say, 40?
4023. Here, can we pause it?
Okay, so, and this is the last part of this video I'm going to show you. And we'll start it right now, 4032.
For Parkland.
Mr. Speaker, I've never seen such shameful and dishonorable remarks coming from this Prime Minister. My great-grandfather flew over 30 missions over Nazi Germany. My great-great-uncle's body lies at the bottom of the English Channel. There are members of this Conservative caucus who are the descendants of victims of the Holocaust. For the Prime Minister to accuse any colleague in this House of standing with the swastika is shameful. I'm giving the Prime Minister an opportunity. I'm calling on him to unreservedly apologize for this shameful remark.
What does he do? What does he do?
I don't know.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians deserve their freedoms back. Mr. Speaker, these illegal blockades that have continued to interfere with people's livelihoods, to interfere with people's daily lives,
I have to interrupt the Honourable Prime Minister, so ask everyone to calm down so we can hear the answer. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Calm down.
Mr. Speaker, the measures put forward in this Emergencies Act are proportional, are responsible, and quite frankly, are completely folded within the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The steps that we are taking are important and measured to restore order and freedoms to Canadians in this country. That is exactly
I love someone that says something and they just...
Mr. Speaker, the lack of an apology from that Prime Minister speaks volumes.
100%
I have given this Prime Minister an opportunity to retract a shameful remark where he would accuse any honourable member of this House to stand with a swastika. As I said before, we have colleagues who are the descendants of victims of the Holocaust. I'm giving the Prime Minister one more chance. Will he apologize to all members of this House?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the the members of the Conservative Party are calling to us to take more action over the past 2 weeks on this.
Do you believe
they
this shit?
continued to stand and encourage these illegal blockades. Mr. Speaker,
and he just
Canadians
starts saying the exact same thing over and over again, completely ignoring what this guy says.
Politicians who've stood with those blockades are standing. We will stand on the side of Canadians.
Isn't that incredible? So this, everyone thinks that our government is doing so much. They're trying their
My
hardest.
apologies, Mr. Speaker. I didn't write these out. But the fact is, I don't know how any member of the government caucus can stand by this Prime Minister when he accuses honorable members of this House of standing with a swastika. I'm calling on all members of the Liberal caucus to denounce the Prime Minister. I've given him 2 chances to apologize. He has refused to apologize. Mr. Prime Minister, apologize.
I know better than you. I know better than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm the smartest person in the room.
Yeah. And spoiler alert, I won't make you guys listen to it, but he doesn't apologize yet again for the 3rd time, as per usual. You know, because of course.
All right. Well, okay. Well, then we get the point.
Yeah, I stopped it there.
Again, so I'll say this. This is the embodiment of someone that feels name calling. So that they're Nazis, they're misogynists. This is CRT 101. This is Marxism 101. This is exactly the type of stuff that you do.
Yeah.
And it is irreprehensible to say. So Melissa Lantsman is Jewish.
Oh, just yeah. So I have another video. I don't know if you have that one pulled up yet. My other video that I had there. Okay. So first, I just want you to take a look. Okay. So the videos that we were just watching, because if you remember correctly, I had said when she was speaking, there's something cut out here. And the funny thing is, if you look at where this is posted from, it's Global News. Remember that. Okay. So Global News is what posted this. Now, when we take a look over here onto Pierre Poilievre, you're going to see what was actually cut out. So I'm going to play this next little clip here. It's only 1:12 with Melissa Lantsman.
Thornhill. Positive, optimistic, hopeful vision for public life isn't a naive dream. It could be a powerful force for change. If Canadians are to trust their government needs to trust Canadians. Those are the words of the Prime Minister in 2015. These people, very often misogynistic, racist, women haters, science deniers, the fringe. Same Prime Minister 6 years later as he fans the flames of an unjustified national emergency. So, Mr. Speaker, when did the Prime Minister lose his way? When did it happen?
You're right, Honourable Prime Minister.
Yeah, like I said, I would if he actually did what he actually believed, I would align with him.
Point of order, the honourable member for Thornhill.
Mr. Speaker,
oh yeah,
I am a strong Jewish woman and a member of this House and a descendant of Holocaust survivors, and I have never it's never been singled out, and I have never been made to feel less, except for today when the Prime Minister accused me of standing with swastikas.
Liberation of Auschwitz.
I think he owes me an apology. I'd like an apology.
The Holocaust didn't start with death camps. It started with the
You should have told me you're pausing it.
I'm retarded and I can't say that word right now. Delegitimization and dehumanization of Jews while everyone looked the other way.
Delegitimization?
There we go. Why can you say that and I can't? Delimited. All right, carry on. God damn it.
It's never been singled out, and I have never been made to feel less, except for today when the Prime Minister accused me of standing with swastikas. I think he owes me an apology. I'd like an apology, and I think he owes an apology to all members of this House.
So, as you see there, she had...
Didn't he walk out after that?
No, because he did give another answer again. That's when he stood up and just started talking again. And that's why everyone was like, "Oh," because you didn't see this part of it. She was demanding an apology,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
yeah. But the thing is, this is 2 times now during this thing that he literally got told.
Yeah, he
In
got asked and then was
Mhm.
told, apologize. And he said, no, we need to talk about block. So
Yeah.
this literally shows the discontent that he has for anyone that has an opposing view. That
Yeah.
is the foundation of any democracy, is differing views.
Well, and he's literally insulting them, and himself is being anti-Semitic. You know what I mean? He's talking about, "Oh, they're gonna stand with Nazis," and stuff like that, and yet you have people there who it's been made very clear that are Holocaust survivors, plus they're Jewish, plus, and
Yeah.
yet they're saying like, "Hey, what you just said there was hurtful and insulting. I think you owe us an apology." And he can't even flippin' apologize and be like, "You know what? I didn't mean to insult you. I'm sorry." Blah 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 blah. But no, he can't even say the words, "I apologize" or "I'm sorry," because he doesn't give a shit. The only person he cares about is his own pompous, arrogant ass.
All right, so this is just for fun little reading. If you wanted to look at this, so this little thing from Angus Reid, where Justin Trudeau, his disapproval rating is jumping up beautifully. People are getting really fucking sick of his shit. A nice little thing I've seen from CPAC. Look at that. Should unvaccinated Canadians face further COVID-19 restrictions? 92% said no.
Well, that's a shift.
23,000 votes. 23,000 votes. 92%. You can obviously see where I voted. No. Because I thought that this was a free and democratic society with a socialized healthcare system where everyone pays.
That's a shift. Actually, I'm gonna say that I'm quite surprised considering how the shit that you hear about. Oh, they should lose their health care, and they should. I don't care if they go to jail and this and this and this. All these other
Or
horrible
they should
things
pay a
just to
fee.
divide us even more. But I'm actually quite surprised at how big of a gap there is there, and to all the people who voted no there. High five to you. That's freaking awesome.
All right, so speaking of people that love swastikas. Ooh, what the ooh, Krista Freeland's granddad was indeed a Nazi collaborator. Oops.
How did that get there? What?
Oh, Justin Trudeau. It's a little bit of, I've said this before, confession through projection.
It was probably her flag.
How did all these Nazi memorabilia get here? It's so weird. I don't know how German people talk. All I know is Lederhosen and Oktoberfest.
When you're done, put it back in my trunk.
All right, so let's this was a nice little meme from Elon Musk.
Yeah, no, that was pretty great. I'm trying to gotta get this. I can't get it bigger. Or whatever. I'm trying to read it here. There we go. Canadian
Yeah.
authorities have ordered financial institutions not to interact with 34 different crypto addresses tied to the country's ongoing trucker protests. And
Yeah. So Elon Musk, being the fucking troll he is.
this
Yeah.
was his response. A picture of Hitler saying, "Stop comparing me to Justin Trudeau."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he had a budget to work with. Trudeau doesn't.
All right. So I did want to say this before we leave. So I think with this, people are looking for guidance. I think ultimately, people feel alone. And I think people are getting quite angry. And unfortunately, it feels like a government that is no longer willing to listen to its own citizens. And when your government full on detests you, says that your views are unacceptable, when your ideas are impermissible in a free and democratic society, I think a lot of those people, regardless of what side of the aisle that you line up on, when you no longer feel your government speaks to you or speaks for you,
I was just going to say that.
I think that that feeling of anger, of just wanting to be heard, I think that ends up deflecting because you take it out on the people that you feel that you can change, people that you feel that you have influence over. So with the call centers, because people say that, I would not be surprised that a lot of people would say that same thing, that I feel alone. And I think that is one of the biggest casualties here, is that we have abandoned our neighbors. We were encouraged to abandon our neighbors, to look to the government for community instead of finding community in our own streets. This trucker protest is that. You've seen from British Columbia to PEI, people saying, I am proud to be Canadian. That is what I mean by unifying. When you've seen overpasses covered with people, when you've seen cars lining the ditch, and not because of a snowstorm, because those shitty Albertan drivers actually wanted to be there.
Yeah, they wanted to wave. They wanted to say thank you, and I have to say, like, I know I mentioned it before when the whole convoy thing started, seeing it, like, it brought tears to my eyes. It really did. And it was the first time in years that I was actually finally proud to be Canadian again. And,
Yeah.
I had all the hope that things would change, when they got there, and, that things would change for the better. And the way that our so-called leader, prime minister, has been handling this whole thing, it is beyond disappointing. And it's making me not feel that same pride anymore, like, it's just it's so hard to believe the extreme measures that somebody will go to who can't even sit down and talk with people or apologize to people when he's said hurtful things, or just the constant division that he's doing with everybody. Like, I it's
An unnecessary, like, I will say, an unnecessary comment. Like, if you want to talk about, inflaming things, making things worse, and that is what, seriously, that is what the big problem is. That a lot of us, we have stopped listening. We have stopped listening to our neighbors, saying it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to be afraid. Speak up. Speak up.
it's
Because
just
the biggest concern is the people that had a choice and an opportunity to say something didn't. When the voices that should have been speaking the loudest said, I don't want to get caught in the crossfire. I'm worried about what I have. This country is not about you, unfortunately. It's about what we are leaving behind. That is why I work as hard as I do. That is why we started this. This was to shout into the void and say, hey, maybe I'm not alone. Maybe we're not alone. There's an expression, and I'm sure I've said it before, that, let me make sure I get it right. This is how I look at here we go. So planting trees whose shade we will never enjoy. That is what I think of Canada. That is what I think of a legacy that I want left behind. Planting a seed, knowing that I will never enjoy the things that I've had to go through anyone that they've had to go through. And I say, if you have the opportunity to speak, then do so now before this country is no longer home. Because we are quickly moving that direction.
Yeah. You know, it's funny watching these like debates and stuff like that, or the conversations that they're having. I so wish I was there. I wish I was one of those people. I wish I was standing next to Candice Bergen and being like, yeah. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So here's the full quote. A society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they know they will never sit. So speak up. Fight for freedom. Oh, fuck.
Are you getting emotional?
No, I actually have something in my eye.
Right.
So.
How convenient.
It is emotion. It is emotional. Because I think that's what any decent person would want. To leave a world better than the way that they found it. And I think that's what I was always brought up. You know, when you leave a room, find it, put it back the way that you found it. Make your neighborhood a better place, a happier place. Make your country a happier place. And this is why I will continue. This has become my mission to call out what I see are injustices, actual injustice, where a cop beats the shit out of an Aboriginal person because they're Aboriginal. Absolutely, I'm going to call that out because that is wrong. Fundamentally, that is wrong. And I will call out the same thing if it's done to a white person. I don't care about your skin color. I don't. As long as we all have an understanding that we have a founding document that we should all strive to embody and stop trying to destroy it. There's a quote from the Lord of the Rings. Evil cannot create. Let me make sure that I want to make sure that I get it right. I believe it's evil cannot create anything new. They can only corrupt and ruin what good forces have invented or made. Yeah, it's from Tolkien. Yeah, he's whatever. All right, before this gets too fucking emotional, let's get the fuck out of here.
Before it gets too emotional, just rub your
Yeah.
eyes. Just kidding. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming to hang out with us today. It's Friday, and I'm happy about it. A weekend is coming up, and it might be a long weekend. So I've been told. If it is, yay. But anyway, as always, you can check us out on everywhere that's listed in the description box below. You want to hang out with us? You want to just see what we're up to? You want to watch our boy Tyler here telling a bunch of people off on Twitter? You know where to find us. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Drive safe tomorrow. There's supposed to be a blizzard here. And yeah, spend time with the ones that you love. Okay. Bye, guys. See you on Monday.